And let's get to the video, man. I ain't gonna lie, I haven't listened to the YoungBoy album because, quite frankly, I think the nigga trash now. I don't listen to him no more. I used to back in the day. You know, I ain't gonna say back in the day. From 2016 to 2020, those are my years of listening to YoungBoy. After he got on house arrest and he moved to Utah, I left the music alone, man. It started to be trash. I'm not gonna lie. He fell off tremendously. But we about to get to the video, man. I've been talking for long enough. Let's get it. He's still who he is, man. Like, he still got a legacy. He was one of the greatest rappers of this generation, no question, no doubt about that. But he just fell off to me. I'm sorry.
What's popping up? YoungBoy's first album out, Massa, which he's been promoting, Make America Slime Again. That's what he's titling it.
What kind of title is that?
For the upcoming tour that he's going on. It sold around 50K first week. And this, for YoungBoy, a lot of people were calling this a quote-unquote flop. It debuted at number, I think it was 49,000 actually. But it got 69.15 million streams. And the entire commercial performance was because of the streams. Pretty much. It didn't really have much pure album sales. And 49.5K, people were like, well, man, this coming out of prison or jail, whatever, prison actually. He's like, yo, you're coming out and getting off house arrest and you're able to move after the pardon as well. Like, this is all you're able to sell. And Akademiks gave his own insight on it. He didn't grill YoungBoy on these numbers. And I do think this is a little bit ironic because if it was somebody that he didn't like, he wouldn't offer him this grace and he would just use the situation.
Right. You know, Akademiks be picking and choosing
for their numbers. But, hey, that's the game, right? If somebody doesn't like you, you're not going to go out of your way to explain to people a way to defend them. So I'm going to play you guys that clip first.
Boy is a close friend of mine. He's not an industry darling. I've always supported him. He supported me. I wasn't happy with some of the lack of placements that he was given and shown, despite the fact that he is and one of the biggest artists in the game.
He is.
I went down a rabbit hole and I talked to a lot of people. And I actually did come up with some answers. And the answers, and this is for YB fans who I know people trying to get on y'all like, YB flop, this and third. It's going to come back to this Drake point I'm making. This is YoungBoy's last album on Capitol. He might not return. They have no incentive to push this like he's the biggest guy. They have no incentive to push it. They've been trying to get him under another contract. He just got out of jail. They want to get him on another contract. He got a big tour that he's about to do. He hasn't agreed to anything. They're not going to go crazy and let you go sell 150, 100,000 records and then you walk away to another company. No. Agree with us, stay in the plantation, and we'll make you win. That's how it is.
The plantation is diabolical.
So what I was told was that his label was more culpable, more than maybe DSPs and everybody else. He's on his last album over there. And I hear he's talking big again. He's talking big money.
Okay.
He wants big, if they want to keep him, he want big money.
Type shit.
They of course don't, labels, they try to lowball you. But when you think about the album, there was a lot of conversations that were supposed to be had, which is like, hey, listen, we can't have this motherfucker go sell.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I listened to one of the songs on the album and I turned it off immediately. I couldn't finish it. I'm not even playing. Like, I'm being so serious. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I just hate how he trying to, like, it feel like he trying to force the rock star sound. I just can't do it. I can't. Like, I listened to that shit one time. Like, I listened to a couple seconds and I just turned it off. Like, I cannot listen to that shit, gang, at all. But shout out to YoungBoy, but I can't do it. I miss the old YoungBoy, man. Like, god damn, what happened?
50,000. Then he don't.
He ain't a YoungBoy no more.
Right back over to Atlantic. Yes, Atlantic wants him back. Surprise.
So for those of you that are unfamiliar about the history a little bit, YoungBoy was initially signed with Atlantic. I think it was APG. And this was like 2016, 17. It was like AI YoungBoy era. And then after he finished with Atlantic, he took a big deal. I don't know if it was, they were saying it was 100 M's, something like that. But he took this deal with Capitol. So he went over to Capitol Records, and you guys know how much music YoungBoy drops. It's outrageous. So it seems like he's about to fulfill that deal. Like, so many artists just get stuck in one deal, and it's because they release significantly less than YoungBoy, and sometimes the label doesn't want to count what they release towards their album requirements. So that's what sucks about it too. So it makes sense that YoungBoy, and some fans might be like, well, why wouldn't they support him? Well, why would they? Because if he's bidding them against each other, and Akademiks saying Atlantic, and Akademiks is close with the guy running Atlantic, damn near, yeah, the guy running Atlantic, which is Elliot Grange. He had a partnership with him for Elliot Grange is from 10K Projects that had Trippie and 6ix9ine, so he's had a long-standing relationship with this guy.
Time out. Speaking of 6ix9ine, where's he at? We need an APP out on 6ix9ine. Where is he at? Is he in jail or some shit? Where have I been at? What was I asleep the whole time? Have I been living under a rock? Is 6ix9ine in jail? Because I had no idea about this if he is. Bro, I was wondering why I haven't been seeing no troll videos. Y'all remember when 6ix9ine used to troll on the internet 24/7 for no reason at all? Just wake up trolling people? I was wondering why I haven't seen those videos. He must be in jail or some shit. I don't know.
He had like a label situation with them where he was potentially going to sign an artist, but he opted out of it. So he's probably getting this directly from him. So if Atlantic wants him back and they're offering him a certain amount, YoungBoy's probably going back to Capitol and like, yo, this is what I'm getting offered. You guys are going to have to give me this amount of money. And they're probably like, well, listen, why if they make YoungBoy kill it with this album and they put the marketing dollars behind him, and because keep in mind, if they put the marketing dollars behind him and he just leaves, they just spent that marketing dollars on nothing. Because a lot of the time they want to put marketing dollars into a particular project because it's going to roll over. As in, this artist has another project to deliver, and if it doesn't recoup, we're building up the artist catalog with us with this marketing budget. But if he's going to leave, why are we going to spend the marketing budget on the last project? It doesn't make sense. So business-wise, this makes complete sense. But where I start to look at this a little bit crazy is when we look at this compared to Pusha T and the Clips' album. And that's the first thing that came into my mind, because YoungBoy, keep in mind, YoungBoy's album got 69.1 million streams first week, which is a lot. There are 30 songs on this album. When you look at Clips, who sold 100K, Let God Sort 'Em Out, there are 13 songs on the album. So there are nearly 3 times as many songs on YoungBoy's album as the Clips. And Clips sold they sold 100K plus, but a lot of it was bundles, vinyls, whatever you want to call it. But they still streamed about 50K. I have to check this again because I'm in disbelief just looking at this, because the numbers here say that 58,000 were pure album sales, and then 59,000 were from streaming services.
Sheesh.
So that means that Clips, with 13 tracks, got 77.5 million streams the week that they released. Mm-hmm. Yet YoungBoy, with 30 tracks, got 69 million streams. So you could say their success is very impressive. Now, they did have they had the best rollout this year, no question about it. And they've had one of the best, arguably the best rollout of this decade. But these numbers don't add up, man. Like, I'm not sorry to tell you this at all. And this is where I think we're going to start getting some sales fatigue. Like, I think the conversation where everyone's like, oh, we got to talk about quality of the music. Listen, that's corny as hell, because you're just going to be arguing back and forth with people on something entirely subjective. Like, you're never going to convince somebody that something that they don't like is something that they should like, and they're going to like it. That's just moronic, failed endeavor. I mean, some people enjoy having those conversations, and that's on them. But with the metric of sales, there was some objectivity to it, and nobody was necessarily saying sales equals quality, because, like I said, quality is subjective. But I think people, like, sales will stop mattering, and it's getting closer to that. People stop caring when you just see outrageous things like that and you just get hit with sales.
No, man, we gotta start caring about. So we gotta continue to care about sales actually, because that's what we taking the competitive the competitiveness out of it. You know how many rappers be looking at their first week sales, even though they probably try to fake like they don't care about how many albums they sell the first week. They care. They looking at all that shit. They refreshing Akademiks page 24/7 to try to see their first week sales. So we gotta continue to care about this shit. I know I for sure care about it because I say Rod Wave is the biggest rap, not the biggest rapper in the game, but like when it comes to like rappers in the game, he top 5 to me because he can sell 100K albums in his sleep. He could literally just Rod Wave could drop an album right now and sell 100K. Ain't even gotta be no warning or nothing. He could just drop the shit and just like Rod Wave. He just got that different kind of connection with the fans because it's probably a little bit different. YoungBoy used to have that connection. I think he still got the youth a little bit. He still got the youth, but it's not how it used to be. I don't know, but yeah, man, let's continue.
And then again, you're like, okay, listen, we don't really care about this anymore. And I do think the conversations are important in certain cases like this, where you take a look at, like, for example, I'm going to make a video on Jello, like Jello's most recent album, because they put a lot
I might swerve in that corner.
or supposedly from what we heard. And
hold on, what they say?
They put a lot of money into that guy.
Oh.
Or supposedly from what we heard. And, that didn't fare too well. But keep in mind, nobody's really talking about Jello's project sales because people aren't paying attention to him like that. So I think that's an example of sales fatigue. But 59,000 and YoungBoy is doing an arena tour. Like let's just let that sink in for a little bit. YoungBoy is about to go on an arena tour. He's doing anywhere from 13 to 18,000 people, perhaps more per venue. If you just look at the tour list, and the people that he's bringing on tour are really not selling tickets like that. It's just all being sold off of the back of YoungBoy. You look at the numbers that YoungBoy has done historically. Like he's done 100K before. He's consistently done like 60 to 80. I think he's done 120 before. I think that was with the top album.
Yeah,
it was
top.
Black and White. That was were a little bit different back then. So
that was probably his last great album in my opinion. The rest of the shit been bullshit, but top. That was for sure top tier. No pun intended. That was top tier.
Me believe is not necessarily that they didn't promote YoungBoy as much as they could have, which is for sure true. It's that what were they cooking up behind the scenes? It makes me not believe the streaming that Clips got, because Clips they're not doing these venues, and that's where you can't fake it. Like sure, even Akademiks was saying like, yo, like. If there's a stadium tour, they're going to make sure it's full. Listen, you can't force people into seats. You can do all you can to try to fill it up, sure. But the most objective metric that we have is how many people are pulling up to a show. Mm-hmm. And let's keep in mind that Clips, you could say they have an older audience. They have people that have more disposable income than YoungBoy's audience, which trends a little bit younger. You could say under 30. A lot of his fans are under 22. And a lot of people were used to meme him and say like, oh, nah, he's just the hottest on YouTube. And because like people got Xboxes and they can't afford Apple Music.
He ain't just the hottest on YouTube because if he could pack out an arena, that's a different kind of, that's a different kind of level of fame right there. Anybody can't just pack out no arena. So he definitely big outside of YouTube. I think that was the narrative because he was like one of the biggest artists on YouTube, so everybody kept saying he was just a YouTube rapper. He can, he had a younger fan base. They watch it on Xbox and all that. They can't afford none of the streaming platform. You know how they was, but yeah, if he doing an arena tour, he definitely one of them ones, bro.
Or Spotify. So people were clowning how much money his fans had, but if he goes on this, and they're preparing the tour, then he's blowing Clips out of the water. Right. Yet, they sold more by 10K. That does not make sense. I don't believe these numbers. I don't believe these Clips numbers. And this is the thing with a good rollout, is we heard about Clips everywhere. So we start to think, well, these numbers make sense because we heard of them everywhere. But that's not how it works, because Rod Wave sells insane amounts, and you don't really hear about Rod Wave when he drops. And Rod Wave does crazy numbers on tour and arena tours, and you don't really hear about Rod Wave like that. So hearing about someone frequently just means that there are more marketing dollars spent on them, to be completely honest. And as for YoungBoy, I think, listen, if this guy is able to kill this tour, that's all that matters. And yeah, sure, they may not make his numbers look as good because he's in terms for negotiation and potentially going to a different record label, but this guy's not slowing up. If he's able to put on a good show, which from what we're gathering, it seems like he's very, very intent on making sure that he delivers a great performance. Keep in mind, this is the guy's real first tour, and it's going to be arenas, so that's going to be difficult standard to live up to. But I'm interested to see how he does that. I'm looking at the clips, numbers, really, I'm side-eyeing these things. Because you can't figure out an excuse, even if you love clips, right? Like, I enjoy these guys' music.
I heard everything I needed to hear. I don't even know who the fuck Clips is. He was talking about Clips the whole time. I'm sitting here confused. Like, man, who the hell, who is Clips? But anyway, we about to get out of here, man. They look like some old OGs, you know, no disrespect, but I don't know who Clips is. So, shout out to Clips. I don't know if they're a group or if it's just one person, but shout out to them, man. We about to get out of here. If y'all enjoyed that reaction video, make sure y'all smash that like button for your boy. Hit that post notification bell and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'm out of here, man.